Well, I spent the night in Maryville, Missouri, and I've got about a 20-minute drive to Skidmore, Missouri. I think you're going to enjoy seeing this town. This is the craziest town of 250 people that I've ever seen. It's had more murders, more missing people, more vigilante justice than a larger city. So come along with me. Okay, I'm on my way to Skidmore, and if this isn't the creepiest place, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's overcast, foggy. It's just an eerie place, and it almost feels like that there's something completely wrong here because GPS doesn't work right. Just none of your navigation works. Just arrived at Skidmore. Population 284. I think from what I've read, there's actually about 250 people that live here. But it's a pretty rundown looking little town. I don't think there's a whole lot of things keeping this alive anymore. Well, this is downtown Skidmore. Oh, it sure is an overcast day here. But what makes this town famous is the bad things that have happened here in the past. Starting in 1981, the town bully, a guy named Ken McElroy, his kids, one of his kids, went into the grocery store here. And this is what used to be the grocery store. Now it's maybe the leftover city hall. But anyway, they went in there and one of the shop owners accused one of the kids of stealing. And Ken McElroy didn't like that a whole lot, and so he started harassing the store owner, an older man. And the harassment continued, and Ken McElroy actually shot the store owner. Didn't kill him, but shot him. And then through manipulating the laws somehow, he wasn't really prosecuted for it. Now bear in mind, this guy had been charged with rape, child abuse, all sorts of other, just 20 or 30 different felonies, and never really been prosecuted for it. So the town got together and decided to take care of the problem themselves. And while Ken McElroy was in this bar right here, this used to be a bar, and his truck was parked right here. The townspeople, about 45 of them, kind of gathered around it, and 2 shots were fired, and Mr. McElroy was no more. His wife was also in the truck, but she was unhurt. But after all the years, nobody was ever prosecuted for killing that town bully. So that's kind of the start of the craziness here. There's actually been a film made of it. It starred Brian Dennehy, and there's also some books written about it. And I think the name of it is, the books and the film is called In Broad Daylight. And that's when it happened. All this happened in broad daylight. And this town has kept this secret for all these years on who actually killed Ken McElroy. But problem solved. This first arrow shows where I am now, and I'm just driving 1 block to the next location. Now, in 2001, a young gentleman by the name of Branson Perry disappeared from this location here in Skidmore. Now, this was his house, and there at one time used to be a different type of shed right here. And he disappeared walking to that shed, and they haven't found him. He was 20 years old. There's been some talk that he was killed by a actual minister that lives in, I'm not sure of the town, but it was somewhere fairly close to here. He's actually serving time for it. Not for that. I'm sorry, I misspoke. He's not serving time for the disappearance of Branson Perry, but for another offense, and they never could really actually prove anything about Branson Perry's disappearance, but his body's never been found. And I guess this guy claimed that he cut him up and put his body in the Ozarks somewhere. And I read somewhere where they found some of Branson's jewelry at this guy's house. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did read that in an article. So I'll drive around the back side of this and look. Right there is where you see that new shed, is where the old shed used to be. And that's where Branson, I believe his name is Branson. Yeah, Branson was going out to put up some jumper cables, I think, and then just disappeared. So once again, that's it. Strange things have happened in this town. Now you can see the location that we're at now at Branson's house, and again we're driving 1 block to the next location. Okay, the next place we're going is where Bobbie Jo was killed. She was actually killed by a girl named Lisa Montgomery. And Lisa actually cut Bobbie Jo Stennett's baby out of her stomach and left her to die. The baby lived. There's a lot of news about that. Now here it is coming up. Nobody's lived there since all this happened. This is it. It's actually vacant right now. You can see it's kind of falling in. That's where it happened at 410. I think this is Elm Street. Looks like they're about getting ready to demolish it. Now this is Bobbie Jo Stinnett about a month before she was murdered. She was into showing dogs. And as you can see, there's a group of people here, and she's pointed in the green arrow, and she's standing in a group with Lisa Montgomery, the girl that murdered her. So be careful who you associate with, because she knew her killer. There's actually a plaque up here at the corner of the main intersections here in Skidmore, and this is for Bobbie Jo Stinnett. I think her mother still lives here. Her mother's the one that found her in the house that she was at, and her mother, the 911 call is actually, you can hear that 911 call on YouTube or some of the documentary channels, and it's quite chilling to hear. Her mom didn't know what had happened. Her mom thought that her stomach had exploded. She had no idea that Lisa Montgomery had actually cut the baby out of her. But anyway, so much for Skidmore. Thank you so much for watching.